Midweek action in the USL Championship coming to you from Trinity Health Stadium in Hartford, Connecticut. Hartford Athletic plays host to Memphis 901 FC. Tonight's match is presented by the Connecticut Department of Transportation. With the former Manchester United goalkeeper Gary Bailey, I'm Josh Eastern. Thanks for being with us. A look at the Eastern Conference standings presented by Jim Beam and Ornitos. It is Memphis at the top on 28 points. Hartford 20 points below them. They sit in 12th spot. And for Hartford, they've been keeping a lot of games close, but close isn't always enough.
Yeah, they've got to score more goals. They've got to stop conceding goals. They shouldn't concede. It's been such a frustrating season for Harry Watling and company. They look so good at times, but if you're not winning games, if you're not storing the points, then you're going to be in trouble, and that's exactly where Hartford Athletic are right now.
Yeah, 6 of those 8 losses within 1 goal, and one player that really is yet to get going in terms of goal contributions is Danny Barrera. After a big season last year, nothing this year.
Yeah, 12 assists last season and second highest in the history of the USL. Not a single goal or assist. Something's not right with Danny Barrera and his part in this team. And at age 32, with his experience, he's got to find the solution. He's got to be the creative spark, and he's got to get back to the form he had last season.
And of course, he's in the starting lineup tonight. On the other side, for the top team in the East, they had that 5-game win streak halted by Birmingham, but this is a team in great form.
Oh, fantastic form. It's been a wonderful season for Ben Pearman and company, and Philip Goodrum up front has been an absolute star. So too has Jeremy Kelly. Aaron Malloy in midfield has been fantastic, and it's a team that is just running rampant at the moment.
And they are without Laurent Kisadou, but they do have some very strong players in the 11 tonight, including the May Player of the Month in Jeremy Kelly.
Yep, in 13 games, 4 goals and 6 assists. What a return that is. That's nearly an involvement in a goal every game. It's absolutely brilliant from Jeremy Kelly, and along with Philip Goodrum, these are 2 players that are in scintillating form. And for Hartford Athletic, you don't have to stop one of them. You've got to try and stop both.
Yeah, there are a lot of different playmakers on this Memphis side. The first time these 2 teams are meeting since 2019. Memphis has never lost to Hartford Athletic. Does that change tonight? We have lineups and first kick coming up next from Hartford.
You've got a life to live, and you don't want to miss a beat. But sometimes it happens. And Trinity Health of New England is ready with comprehensive cardiovascular expertise, delivered with commitment and compassion throughout our network of hospitals and physician offices. So when you trust your care to Trinity, you won't have to hope for the best. You can set your heart on it. Trinity Health of New England. Care that's always there.
Hartford Athletic would like to thank our partners: Connecticut Army National Guard, Midline Chiropractic, Walgreens, and Connecticut. right into it. We'll take a look at tonight's starting lineups presented by Liberty Bank. We'll start with Memphis 901.
Just the one change for coach Ben Pierman. Lucas Turchi comes in for Luis Fernando, who's on the injury list. Otherwise, it's that 4-4-2 shape that served them so well this season, with Goodrum leading the line up front.
And on the other side, the acting head coach tonight will be Ray Reid. We'll get into that in a moment, but this is the starting 11 for Hartford.
Also one change there. Juan Carlos Obregon gets his first start for a long time. Peter Lee Vassell drops to the bench. That allows, I think, Pereira to go back into midfield, but in a slightly attacking role.
Well, going back to the game over the weekend, Harry Watling given a red card, so he will not be on the bench today for Hartford Athletic. It will instead be Ray Reid, the Connecticut soccer legend. He coached, of course, for Southern Connecticut State for 7 seasons and then 24 years, including a national title at the University of Connecticut. And we are underway tonight from Trinity Health Stadium. So acting head coach in Ray Reid, who was recently hired as Hartford Athletics technical director in May. He will be on the bench tonight. But this Hartford team, they just need to get back on track, coming off that 3-0 loss against San Diego Loyal. And we did talk with Harry Watling this week. He just said that's a game we need to flush and move on.
Yeah, it was a tough one, and if you look at the expected goals, they didn't do much in that game, just 0.29 for Hartford. So clearly it was a game that they struggled to dominate. But to be fair to them, in most of the other games, their expected goals has been at least as good as the opposition. And I think you mentioned the stat was a 6 out of 8. They've only lost by a goal. So they've been so close. You get the sense they can turn the corner at any moment. The problem, though, Josh, is they're 13 points behind a playoff spot. So if they do turn the corner, they're going to have to turn it and accelerate to try and catch up with the others.
And they go up against a very good Memphis side, coming off that 5-game win streak before that loss last time out against Birmingham, as that cross bounces out of play. But basically it came down as Ben Pierman said, and there's a look at Ray Reid, of course the Connecticut soccer legend. As Harry Watling put it, he said we wanted a big-time name in that technical area, and they get one in Ray Reid, who of course is a legend in these parts, 24 years as UConn head coach. But going back to what Ben Pierman was saying about that game against Birmingham, basically said they made the play, we didn't. He thought maybe worst case they get out there with a draw. Unfortunately just didn't go their way, but they have put together a great run of form. The 5-game win streak tied for their longest in club history after they ended last regular season with 5 straight wins.
What they've done well is score goals. Most goals scored per game in the East, 27 and 13. Goal difference of plus 14. Compare that with Hartford's second lowest in the East, with just 11 in 12 games and a -6 goal difference. So you do sense it for Hartford. This is one of those games where they're up against it. But if they can get a result, their confidence would shoot up, their belief would shoot up. The only problem is they've got to stop Goodrum, they've got to stop Dodson, Jeremy Kelly. Need I go on? It's a massive, massive tall order for Hartford today.
Hartford coming into the attack through Luca Perpa. Trying to get something started. Memphis has been very good defensively. Their last 6 games, they've conceded just 4 goals as this runs through for Trey Muse. During that win streak, they outscored their opposition 17-3, and they have gotten it done on both ends of the field. There's Joel Johnson, just losing that out of play. It's a throw into Hartford.
What might make a difference here for Hartford today is Juan Obregon Jr., such a good player, and they've missed him. His last game that he started was back in April 2nd. Did get 17 minutes against San Diego, but Juan Obregon Jr. with this man, Corey Herzog and Joel Johnson, suddenly you've got a real attack up front there for Hartford.
Herzog, a long throw, and can be such a weapon for Hartford. Calls for Gadula. Barrera trying to connect with Herzog again. It's taken away. And here comes Derek Dodson, the former Hartford Athletic player. Was in on loan a year ago from Orlando. 22 appearances, scored 5 goals. Gets to play against his former side. Rashawn Dolly, who played for Memphis last year, also starts on the bench tonight for Hartford. It's time to take a look at tonight's keys to the game. They are presented by Hoffman Auto Group.
Well, firstly, from a Hartford point of view, they need Danny Barrera to get into this game. So the players around him have to get the ball to him, assist him, cover for him, give him confidence, because they need his creativity. I think from a Memphis point of view, you're up against a side that has traveled to the west. They've played on the weekend, whereas Memphis have had a whole week off. So, you know, physically, they might be a little bit vulnerable, Hartford.
Flag up for offside there on Juan Carlos Obregon Jr.
Just to finish that thought, you know, it's when a team is down, when they're struggling, when they're perhaps tired physically, when they've traveled a lot, you want to get at them with a high energy game and keep it going for the full 90 minutes. And Memphis should be able to, with a week's rest, they should be able to run Hartford into every corner, high press them, and make life as difficult as possible for Harry Watling and Ray Reid's team.
Trinity Health of New England is proud to be the official medical provider and title partner of Hartford Athletic, always committed to providing the best healthcare experience every day for every patient. Trinity Health of New England, care that's always there. Padula pushed down from behind.
I think we have to give credit to Ben Pearman at Memphis, as that long ball comes straight through there to Trey Muse. He's had such a fantastic season and recognized in the month of May as the coach of the month. Jeremy Kelly, the player of the month. So Memphis walking away with all the awards, and I think rightly so. I did not see them as top. If you had asked me, I would have gone for the normal suspects, the Tampa Bays, the Pittsburgh, the Lou Cities. But Memphis, what a season they've had so far.
Has to be definitely one of the best starts in club history. They normally aren't towards the top of the Eastern Conference standings, as you noted. This team has really put together a good start to the season. Now it's, can they carry it through? This man on the ball, Aaron Malloy, a big reason why this team is where it's at. 4 goals, 2 assists. Really controls things in the middle of the field, coming over from Ford Madison a year ago in League One. Here's Herzog. I'm sure wanted to get something going over the weekend against his former club in San Diego. It just wasn't meant to be on that night for Hartford Athletic.
Well, he certainly has been a decent player and a decent addition to Hartford, as is the return of Juan Carlos Obregon. But for Corey Herzog, that long throw, you noted that, that's a weapon and a half. But he himself is so sharp around the box. 1 goal and 1 assist already in just 6 games. Got the winner against New York Red Bulls 2. And I think that's where Corey Herzog is useful. If you get him service, if you whip balls into the box, he can certainly play a big role in any game.
He did have that assist in the only goal they scored against Phoenix Rising a few weeks back. A game that, again, Harry Watling thought his team had a good chance to win, as Goodrum puts this in the middle. Padula there to sweep it clear. Barrera for Juan Carlos Obregon Jr. Possession given right back.
And if you're looking at this from a Hartford point of view, not a bad time to play Memphis. They're coming off the back of a loss, so maybe they've got some question marks in their head. But more importantly, from a Hartford perspective, no Kisiadu. And he has been in incredible form. And he's right up there near the top of the goal scorers chart. And without him, Ben Pearman was saying to us, we lose creativity. We tried playing Kelly there, and that didn't quite work out. We're going to try Chris Allen at number 10. But ultimately, they want Lauren Kisiadu back as soon as they can possibly get him back.
He said missing out due to a groin injury, hoping to get him back in the next few weeks, but just has to see where he is at health-wise.
Just to give you that stat, he's joint second in the USL with assists, 5. Jeremy Kelly's top with 6. So it's all coming out of Memphis 901 at the moment.
It seems like Philip Goodrum is on the end of many of those goals with 7. Here's Dotson, starting out on this right side as the cross blocked out of play. There's Ben Pierman, USL Championship May Coach of the Month. Of course, his time at Michigan State, and even before that with Detroit City. This is a team that has been very good away from home. He says, of course, at home we want to be the aggressors, but he says when we've been on the road, we've been very solid. 4-1-1. That is tied for second in the East in terms of points, although a few less road games played than a few other teams. They've scored 9 on the road. They've only conceded 3. So going away from home, not a huge issue for Memphis. We'll see what they have against this Hartford team, in which they've been very successful against in the past. 3-0 going back to 2019. Played them once in the Open Cup, won 4-0, and then a 4-1 home win and a 2-1 win here in Hartford. Looking for Barrera, runs through for Trey Muse.
Just looking at Corey Herzog saying it should be the other way around. Corey, you should be in the box and Barrera should be playing you the ball. Stick to both what you're good at, but I mean, they are versatile. Barrera can be a finisher. Corey Herzog certainly has the ability to supply the ball, but ultimately you want them in their best possible positions. And for me, Herzog is he's a sniffer around the box. Fox in the box, and that's where you want him to be.
Classic number 9. All the way back for Slayton. It's another start and goal after a really tough outing against San Diego, though did come up with a big save at the end of the game, even though the result was pretty much in hand at that point.
Yeah, I think Jadama lost possession on the edge of the box in the 88th minute, and Slayton had to make a really, really good save. I do question the first goal, though. Charlie Adams shooting from 25 yards and beat the goalkeeper somewhere in the middle of the goal. So I think maybe I'm just being a bit picky. In general, Jimmy Slayton has had some really good games.
Please join us in helping founding partner the Hartford celebrate nearly 75 years of educating children about fire safety with their Junior Fire Marshal program. Visit juniorfiremarshal.com to learn more. Perpa out wide, Budati just able to keep that in play. Cuts it back for Perpa. For Herzog, he couldn't get there. Malloy stepped in, and he has space to work into. Ruitt stepped in, looking to connect with Goodrum. Now Barrera, lofting it forward. Logue stepped in. Turchi up over the top. A hopeful ball bouncing through for Slayton.
Tom Brewitt doing well there, just using his body to stop Philip Goodrum from getting on the end of it. Tom Brewitt, 25-year-old from England, started his football at Liverpool under 23, so a good pedigree there.
His first season here with Hartford after spending last year with Tacoma Defiance. His first year in the USL Championship. Here's Reese Buckmaster. Turchi playing it through. Joel Johnson is blocked out of play.
There's some nice noise in the background from the home crowd, and I think these players need this crowd. Early on last season, when they were absolutely flying, this crowd was buzzing and it created such an atmosphere. And they need this crowd again to help them, especially when times are tough for players. Being at home, having a good crowd supporting you can make all the difference.
Hartford Athletic would like to thank Nuovo Pasta, Kinetic Care, and Citizens Bank for supporting our Goals for Meals program. For every Hartford Athletic goal scored this year, Nuovo Pasta and Citizens Bank will donate meals to Food Share Connecticut.
Something that Memphis 901 have been very good at this season is their pressing. The right moments to press. Ben Pimman was saying the trigger points are so important when to press. You can see Goodrum. Now they start closing down, making it difficult. Derek Dodson. And they force the ball back. And they're just waiting for any error. Chris Allen there. Now he goes, he closes. Trying to see if they can get turnover ball anywhere. And forcing you to play long balls and hope to get through. Well done, Hartford. They played through the press.
Now Barrera springs free. As this is sent in, Smith is up to head it clear. Malloy gets it out. Now maybe a chance to break. Allen for Dodson.
Different story here. Hartford happy to let Memphis have the ball in their half at the moment, and then as they cross the halfway line they start to close them down, whereas Memphis are trying to close down on the edge of the box. It's that high energy pressing and attack that we spoke about in the keys to the game.
Looks like that ball did go out of play. It'll be a throw-in back to Hartford. 15 minutes gone. Trying to look upfield. Here is Jeremy Kelly. Logue. This will try to work down that left side. Turchi. Lofting it forward. Comfortable header there for Gadula. Back to Slayton.
Difficult ball there to switch it when you put so much time in the air. You give everybody defensively a chance to position themselves as opposed to keeping it a low cross with a bit of pace on it. But here again, here's the high press, trying to get turnover ball. And so far they've played through it quite nicely, Hartford. And as I say that, they lose possession.
Malloy steps in, now Dodson.
I went over there and everything over here. Wherever you are.
Reese Buckmaster.
It's good control by the visiting team. You can see the confidence oozing through Memphis. They've had control of most of the game. They've played most of it in Hartford's half.
Here comes Memphis forward. Kelly trying to drive through. All the way through for Slayton again. It's always so interesting how games like these will shake out when these teams have been around, obviously, but they haven't played each other in 3 years. And obviously, very different faces on both sides of the ball. Hartford starting out with some possession. Memphis okay to sit back. And as you pointed out, pick those moments to press. Gadula. Tripped up by Buckmaster. A little bit too quick for the referee's liking there. And in the middle tonight, Austin Saney. McGlynn for Budati. Plenty of time on the ball here for Hartford. What can they do with it?
It's time, but it's time in their own half. It's not doing much with it. And as soon as they even get near that halfway line, look at the white shirts now just hunting, trying to get that turnover ball in a dangerous area. They've got to play through this. They've got to create their own attacks now. They are the home side, and they are the side in desperate need of points, so the onus pretty much on Hartford, I would think, to make something of this game.
As both coaches mentioned, plenty of time off, or at least just normal time off for Memphis, a week in between games. For Hartford, cross-country travel, and then a short week. We'll see how that manifests itself in this game as it's taken away. Here's Allen.
Yeah, it can't be easy going all the way to the west to San Diego, then coming back and a few days later taking on the team at the top of the Eastern Division. It's a big, big challenge, and it's a team that's not only top, but they work hard, they close you down, they make life difficult, as we can see already. So it's going to take a lot of energy for Hartford to break down Memphis 901.
Here's Barrera. Now Jadama. McGlynn trying to unlock that back line up over the top. Obregon Jr. Juan Carlos Obregon Jr. scores through two defenders. And Hartford, they find something out of nothing and lead it home 1-0.
Fantastic effort there by Juan Carlos Obregon Jr. back in the team. They needed him desperately. Question marks are about Trey Muse, caught at his near post, and it sort of slipped through his hands, but give credit to Obregon Jr. for taking the chance, having a dip, getting it on target. He is back. They have missed him. He's only managed 4 games this season. And his last one was back in April, but have a look at this. When the ball comes to him, he's able to make that run, get in the box, and create the opportunity. Connor McGlynn with the pass. He keeps himself onside. He's at a bit of an angle, but he has the dip through the legs, and goalkeeper just misses it with his hands. Trey Muse got to do better than that, but give Juan Carlos Obregon Jr. credit. He's got his team ahead. Maybe better days ahead for Hartford Athletic.
A big start here for Hartford Athletic inside of about 20 minutes for Juan Carlos Obregon Jr. His second goal on the season after scoring a career-high 10 goals a year ago. You wonder if maybe that just took a little deflection off of Graham Smith on the way through and took it out of the path just a tad of Muse, but I think you saw in his reaction, he thinks he should make that save every time.
Yeah, I would think so from a goalkeeper's perspective. Your hand's already down there, so they should be able to move even with a deflection. It's a very tight angle. You haven't got much goal to cover. And I'm sure Trey Muse will want that one back again. He's too good a goalkeeper for that to slip in on a good day. But it's given the home side the lead, and we have a real battle on our hands here. Big test for the Eastern Conference leaders.
The first shot of the game for either side turns into a goal. Here's Dodson trying to score against his former club, and the flag is up for offside. Don't miss Hartford's next match right here at Trinity Health Stadium on June 25th at 1 p.m. Make sure to check out the live broadcast on ESPN. If you can't make it, go to hartfordathletic.com for tickets and more information. Of course, that is an ESPN game. Another one this weekend at noon Eastern time with El Paso Locomotive traveling to Detroit City. Make sure to catch those two games, couple Saturday afternoons on ESPN.
I think that's a vital return to the first team as Juan Obregon Jr. because up front they have options.
Here he is again, and he's whistled for a foul.
If you put him together with Joel Johnson and Corey Herzog, it's a real threat against any team. I think Corey Herzog is going to get a bit of a warning here about chirping the referee.
The logo is the captain's armband, and Obregon Jr. is taking a seat on the turf. What a busy year it was for Juan Carlos Obregon Jr. last year. His first season with Hartford Athletic. He went to the Olympics with Honduras, scored 10 goals. He really became a solid player for this team, and I remember at the end of last year, Harry Watling was talking about him getting to 10 goals being a big milestone, just getting that double-digit mark. He did. It's been a slow start for him this year. Hasn't quite been fully fit, but I'm sure at least from a Hartford perspective, good to see him on the score sheet again.
Yeah, got a goal in the opening match against Pittsburgh back on March 19th when they lost by 2-1. Only managed to play in 4 games this season, and one of those was 17 minutes against San Diego in the last match. So he's been out for quite a while. But now, having got Corey Herzog in recent times, they've now got a real threatening attack up front.
Hartford Athletic would like to thank our founding partner, Travelers. Thanks to Travelers, presenting partner of our Community Champion program. Children from underserved communities throughout Greater Hartford are able to come to the matches free of charge.
Now the challenges for Ben Pearman. They lost their last match against Birmingham Legion. They're 1-0 down here, but they've looked good, to be fair. They haven't looked like they're struggling, Memphis, but you're 1-0 down. You can't afford to concede a second. You've got to get back in the match. So a big test for the Eastern Conference leaders. And this is against a Hartford team who are so desperate for points that they can smell blood in the water here. And they want to take all 3 points if they can. Like I said earlier, it'll bring so much confidence into the side. And having Ray Reid there as well on the sidelines and involved with the coaching team, that could be the lift that this team needs.
When you look at the record for Hartford, it's obviously not very good, but 7 of those 8 points that they have gotten have been over the last 6 games. 2-2-1 over the last 5. So this is deflected out of play, and it'll be a throw-in back to Hartford.
To be fair, they're both against teams struggling, Loudon and New York Red Bulls too. So.
But teams you got to beat if you want to climb.
True, and they have got the points from them. But this would be something special. A win here as a player when you're taking on the top team in your division and beating them, if they go on to beat them, of course, that would be a massive boost for all these players. Then they can really start to believe.
Obregon Jr. goes down again, but play continues on. Like he collided with Graham Smith. Obregon Jr. back on his feet. Turchi. A foul. It'll be a free kick that Malloy takes very quickly over the top for Dodson. Feeling some pressure from Gadula. Here's Buckmaster. Dodson deflecting out of play. It's a throw-in deep in that corner for Memphis.
Neat and tidy play. Sorry, it's neat and tidy play. I was going to say from Memphis, knocking around from side to side.
Buckmaster with the service in, deflecting all the way to the far side. Segrist will let it run out. Oh, give and go. Keeps it moving, Malloy, and it's blocked down. Boy, when he gets room and can get his laces through it, he can really hit it, and he did there. But Hartford scrambling defensively, it's a corner.
It was Connor McGlynn gets his body in the way, and that's what they're going to need. Hartford commitment from everybody if they want to come away with all 3 points. Have a look there. McGlynn just using his feet to try and block that shot. I'm sure Jimmy Slayton very happy that he did.
Here's Malloy on the corner now. Headed back into the middle, and now headed clear. Here's Malloy again. Kelly. Buckmaster. Segrist able to float this in. The header saved at that near post. Goodrum was up for it, and Slayton made the save.
Decent header from Goodrum. He was under all sorts of pressure from the defenders, and he got something on it, not enough to worry Jimmy Slayton too much, but at least it's something on target, and that's what they need to be doing more of, Memphis. Again, there's the pressure. Ooh, risky one.
Well, this has to be said. It's a good response here from Memphis after conceding. Now it's them getting on the ball just a little bit more. This will go all the way back, and we can tell you Lyco Office Furniture is a proud sponsor of Hartford Athletic. For over 40 years, Lyco Office Furniture has been furnishing startup to Fortune 500 companies all over New England. Go to lycoinc.com for more information.
Keeper just booting that one down the pitch. I just wonder with Kisiadu, he wasn't there for the last match. And Memphis's 5-match winning streak came to an end at Birmingham Legion. And now they're 1-0 down without him. You get to see more and more of what Ben Pearman was saying, as he's such a crucial part of their team, and they battle to replace Laurent Kisiadu. They can move players around. They can certainly try, but he's a crucial player for them, and I think we can see that in the last match and so far here. And yet, for Ben Pearman, it's not like his team hasn't been playing well. It's just that Kisiadu can provide that little moment of magic to break down an opposition defense.
Another throw in deep in that attacking third here for Memphis. Allen. Ball floated forward. It's Goodrum into the middle for Dodson. It nearly fell for Allen. And Hartford gets it out.
How quick was Goodrum there to get that ball and service it into the middle. Great first touch. Lovely ball in here, but look at the touch there. Touch, and immediately outside of the right foot into the path there of Dodson. And Dodson nearly gets on the end of it.
Located in Windsor, Connecticut, Day Hill Dome will feature the region's only full-size indoor field, plus multiple outdoor fields. Visit dayhilldome.com for more information.
Still good pressure from Memphis. Look how they sort of have managed to box Hartford in their half most of this match. To be fair, there's only one shot that they've had, Hartford, and again, Trey Muse would want that one back time and time again. Other than that, they really haven't threatened the Memphis goal. And it's been Memphis in this half, pressurizing, forcing saves, turnover ball. Here we go again. Oh, good slide tackle. But still, it's the away side who seem to be having a lot more possession here.
Segerist was coming forward. That was blocked out of play. Logue. In for Kelly. And now a turnover. Joel Johnson trying to spring Obregon Jr. free, but it was Smith. He was able to step in and get that away. Trying to play it in behind for Allen. To the end line, cuts it across, and Slayton slides in and snatches it.
That's good play there from Chris Allen. Tom Brewitt hasn't been able to hold him up enough there as that ball comes in, goes into the box, and Brewitt allows him to get the cross in, and his goalkeeper's got to come out and make a smart save. And once again, Memphis able to create little half chances in the box.
Celebrating its 75th anniversary, Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. Choose what you play with at selectsportamerica.com. Select, league's choice, player's choice. Switch of play for Dodson. He'll get there in front of Buckmaster. Kelly is trying to slide that in for Malloy, and it runs all the way through for Slayton.
I'm just looking at expected goals at this stage of the game. It's not very high. It's 0.05 for Hartford and 0.09 for Memphis, which basically says no chance at all, which again is why it's such a surprise that the goal has come from Juan Carlos Obregon Jr. from such an angle that, according to expected goals, you shouldn't be able to score from there. And it just proves the point again that Trey Muse has not done the job he's meant to do at his near post. But really, there hasn't been much for either goalkeeper to do besides that. Perhaps the odd save from Jimmy Slayton coming out to gather up balls and crosses, but nothing incisive as yet.
Memphis has no doubt looked more dangerous since conceding. Malloy.
They had mixed response, Hartford, to their trip west, because they got a bit of a hammering at San Diego, no doubt about that. But they got a good 1-1 draw at El Paso. Not an easy place to go to. And they came away there with a very, very good point. And that's got to make them believe that they can do well against decent teams.
As Harry Watling put it, though, he was, I guess, in a way pleased that they could play as quickly as today. They could just flush the result from over the weekend, get right back to it, no time to dwell on it, just having to move forward and face, of course, a very good Memphis side.
Something interesting he did say, though, that made me chuckle. He said, but with some of the chances we haven't put away, it's been criminal. The word criminal, he's obviously very frustrated with these strikers that they've had good chances, like we mentioned, with the expected goals and the fact they've only lost by the odd goal. They've not, other than the San Diego match, really, they haven't been torn apart. But if you don't hit the back of the net on little half chances, you're not going to win games. Having Juan Carlos Obregon Jr. back, the first thing he's done is scored from a very, very tight angle. Shouldn't be scoring from there. That's the sort of goals and that's the opportunities that Hartford haven't been able to find so far this season.
Maybe that's a sign of luck going in their way after maybe it wasn't going their way so far this season. Hartford Athletic is proud to partner with Baronet Coffee, a fourth-generation family-owned business. Founded in 1930, Baronet roasts and sells only the finest specialty coffees. Go to baronetcoffee.com and save 20% on your first order with the code Hartford Athletic. On the turn, Juan Carlos Obregon Jr. jostling with Graham Smith.
I was just mentioning about Kisiadu, and I'm looking back at previous matches. The first person to score in the 5-2 victory against Atlanta 2, Kisiadu. First person to score when they beat Loudoun, Kisiadu. Once you get that breakthrough, this team has got so many guns and so much power that they can go on to win games easily. But it was his creativity that got the breakthrough in the 2 games before Birmingham Legion, and without him, they couldn't do it at Birmingham Legion. So, again, it just reinforces the point that he's a massive player to this Memphis 901 team.
Here's Dodson. That pass off the mark, turned over. Herzog, now for Barrera. Took Budati all the way to the far touchline. He does keep it in play. Chidama for Joel Johnson. Herpa. Herzog slides this down the line. Budati stands it up to the back post. It's Joel Johnson. Now Barrera onto his right foot. It's blocked down. Budati again serves it in. Headed away. The flag, though, up for offside. A couple of aerial balls dealt with there by Graham Smith headers.
Yeah, good little bit of pressure there from the home side. Ball's whipped in from out wide. Again, Corey Herzog's the one supplying the pass instead of being in the box. And those high balls, you haven't got the biggest of strikers. Joel Johnson's not huge. Juan Obregon Jr. is not huge at all. So high balls I don't think is going to give them a lot of joy. You need to get it on the ground. And again, you need to get Corey Herzog in there as well. But better from the home side.
For Memphis, just one win when they have conceded the opening goal so far this season, and was actually that 5-2 win against Atlanta just a couple of weeks ago.
You just wonder what Ben Pearman's thinking at this stage, and whether he's wondering if he needs to make any changes. It's a team that served him so well throughout the season. Does have the likes of David Egbo on the bench, the Nigerian. Got a Ugandan player, Edward Kiza. All options for the coach if he feels he needs to mix things up to try and get the breakthrough.
Hartford Athletic would like to extend a special thanks to our partners Jim Beam Bourbon and Hornitos Placa Tequila. Joel Johnson. Now Gadula, 1-2 game, just trying to find space. McGlynn had to get a touch on that.
And that high pressure, look at it, just forcing them backwards almost every time, Hartford. Look at that, there's about 7 white shirts in our picture, 6. It makes it very, very difficult to play out. And of course, if you do lose the ball, you're losing it right on the edge of your box. It's been a big test for Hartford all of this first half. Once again, they do really well to play out of that press.
Here's Johnson. Lofts it forward, Obregon Jr. making the run. He let that go through and Muse had to react. And it will go out for a corner kick. Well, if not for that touch, that was finding the back of the net.
It's a lovely ball in, wasn't it, as well? It's one of those testing balls. Joel Johnson on the ball here, cuts inside, head up, bends it in. He's just tempting Juan Carlos Obregon, and he almost goes as if to try and trick the keeper, Trey Muse. And Trey, once they both leave it, he's got to react sharply with that left hand.
On loan from Loudoun United, Trey Muse. After spending last season on loan with San Diego Loyal, but that was from the Seattle Sounders, which was his parent club at the time. Bank of America corner kick as Danny Barrera gets set to swing this in. Instead, he'll play it short. Comes for Connor McGlynn. He can hit it from distance. And another good save from Trey Muse.
Nice rehearsed move from the corner, and we know how good a striker of the ball Connor McGlynn is from distance. Scored some cracking goals over the years. But that one was a side foot shot, so not enough power in it. Great position. But the lack of power meant that Trey Muse could get himself across the box and make the save.
I've said it many times, and I'll say it again, back to our conversation even last year with Harry Watling. He said, we need to get Connor McGlynn in space just outside the area because he can really hit a ball from distance. And you saw it there. We've seen it before, as you mentioned.
But normally he strikes through the ball. If he runs onto the ball, he's got a fantastic strike. That one was a side foot coming across the ball and very hard to get the pace that you need. Got the direction. Have a look here. First time side foot. It's got a reasonable amount of pace on it, but again, It's not going to fire in and train muse. It's very comfortable for the goalkeeper. Does well to hold it, by the way, because Juan Obregon Jr. was waiting for anything the keeper might drop.
Goodrum felt some pressure from behind from Jadama. Malloy, I think, just collided there with Perpa after the whistle had come.
Perpa's asking the question, is he allowed to get away with that? And the referee just having a word with Aaron Malloy, warning both players just to take it nice and easy. There's a little bit of, just wonder here, yeah, there's a little bit of follow through there from Malloy. I think it was a little bit sneaky and lucky not to get a yellow card for that. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt and say he wasn't looking and it was an accidental clash, but somehow I doubt it.
Loaded into the area, headed back centrally. Goodrum goes to ground. Couldn't keep that alive. It's Turchi. It's 2 minutes of stoppage time. The header is just pushed away by Slayton. Another nervy moment there as we get a 2 minutes of Brynjol Vineyard stoppage time.
I think Slayton just got a touch and took that off the head of whichever player was coming in there for Memphis 901. Goalkeeper just doing enough. And just before that, Philip Goodrum beating the ground in annoyance, because when that ball came to him, he wanted to hit it first time, didn't, and lost the opportunity.
And now it's a free kick. Brewitt stepped up. And now he's in the face of the referee. He thought he got the ball. This game getting a little testy.
It is, it is. I think Brewitt was asking the referee, have you blown your, are you going to use your whistle or not? Because once the referee says he's going to use his whistle, then they can't take a quick free kick. A little bit of lack of communication from referee Austin Saney.
Malloy, he can hit it from distance. Might this be just a bit too far? We'll see what the decision is here as we near the end of this first half. Malloy for Kelly. He's tripped up. And the ball underneath his feet, and that's the end of the threat. Nothing doing. And Ray Reid says just slow things down.
Just wondering why it's a free kick. I mean, I get it's not a free kick for Memphis. Why is it a free kick against Memphis? Did he didn't handball it?
Are you allowed to hold the ball with your feet?
Yeah, why not? You can do
I
it
don't
stood
know,
up.
I was asking, I wasn't sure.
If you stood up and you got the ball at your feet, no one would blow you up for that. Just find that strange for a moment, but anyway. We don't see what all the referees see from their angle, and they must call it the way they see it. And Austin Saney, having done well this half and controlled the game really well, let it float, so well done to the ref.
That's why you keep showing up. You never know what you're going to see, right? Well, that is the end of the first 45 minutes of action. Juan Carlos Obregon Jr. may not be the prettiest goal Hartford will score all year, but they will absolutely take it, and they lead 1-0.
They do, and that's exactly what they needed. Welcome back into the team, Juan Carlos Obregon Jr. And he's got them that goal. They're on the front foot. So often in these matches they fall behind and they're chasing the game, or they can't get a breakthrough. Well, they've got the 1-0 lead. The question is, second half, are they going to be able to hold on to it against this super talented Memphis 901 team?
Some complaints there from Niall Logue off the field. It's been a frustrating first 45 minutes, to be fair, for Memphis. Can they get back into it in the second half? Hartford leads 1-0. We have hit halftime here from Hartford, Connecticut. It's Hartford Athletic 1, Memphis 901 0. Halftime from Trinity Health Stadium here in Hartford, Connecticut. Beautiful night here on this Wednesday evening. Hartford leads 1-0, but Memphis, they not only had the coach of the month in Ben Pierman, but also the player of the month in Jeremy Kelly.
Buckmaster rolls that in front, tapped home. Jeremy Kelly, and Memphis has grabbed a second.
Here's Kishadu into the middle and a shot in the goal. Another picture-perfect play. That time it's Kelly.
Another ball in, forced out. Regains it. Paul hits Kelly. He's got the second. Silences the Loudon crowd with his 4th goal of the year.
So a solid month there for Jeremy Kelly in the month of May, but trying to get things back on track. They'll have to come from behind tonight, but they have a lot of home games upcoming, albeit against very tough opponents.
This is not easy, is it? Detroit City, Tampa Bay, Phoenix, Louisville City. Wow, that's going to be a massive test for 901. And that's what they want. And if they're going to end up top of this division, those are the teams they're going to have to beat.
To be the best, you got to beat the best. That's what they say. On the other side for Hartford, we were looking at this pregame, and boy, if they're going to climb the table, they're going to need some big-time results.
Well, they're 13 points behind a playoff place. So they're going to have to be 13 points better than the likes of Indy or Miami. Wow, that means you have to beat 3, maybe 4 of those 5. Well, good luck against Lou City, Colorado Springs Switchbacks, Tampa Bay Rowdies. I mean, it's a mountain to climb for Hartford Athletic, but a win today will get them beginning to climb that mountain.
Of course, that game against Lou City, 1 p.m. Eastern time on the 25th. That'll be shown on ESPN. Halftime from Trinity Health Stadium, Hartford leads it 1-0.
We all have goals. But let's be honest, most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
In the making, a dream start for City.
Maxi Rodriguez, what a stop by Steinwasser.
And it's into the back of the net. El Paso, far corner, and it's in. What a goal. Are you watching Football Americas?
You strive to stay on top of your health, but you can't always see what's coming. So whether you're ready or not, we are. At Trinity Health of New England, offering you expert orthopedic care throughout our hospitals and physician offices, whenever you need us, for whatever it is. You didn't plan on the pain, but you can make your next move an easy one. Trinity Health of New England. Care that's always there.
Halftime rolls on. Beautiful night for soccer at Trinity Health Stadium here in Hartford, Connecticut. The home side leads 1-0 through 45 minutes of action. As we look at news and notes from around the USL Championship, Pride Month continues here in June. And how about the historic transfer, Kobe Henry going to Reims in France, the largest transfer in USL history.
It's wonderful to see such a good player in defense, and wish him well in Ligue 1. Never easy there, but one of the best leagues in which to grow. The French produce some of the best players. They're the world champions, so what a great place to play. Start the Reims.
Could go up against the likes of Neymar, Kylian Mbappe, you never know.
Absolutely.
The schedule for tonight, no score between Red Bull 2 and FC Tulsa, and then a couple games out west tonight. That Oakland, New Mexico game could be pretty interesting.
Yeah, Oakland doing well. They've climbed up that table, but New Mexico United have been in great form. And the other one, Los Dos up against Monterey Bay. Monterey had a couple of good wins against top opposition and then dropped points. Let's see if they can bounce back away at LA Galaxy 2.
Everything's so tight out west. And what is to come in terms of the ESPN schedule? Well, a bunch of games coming your way on ESPN and ESPN2, and pretty much all these are good fixtures.
Well, there's one for Hartford at home to Lou City. That's going to be a tough one. The one below are Colorado Springs Switchbacks against San Diego Loyals. That's going to be a classic out west. And then San Antonio have been in fantastic form. Could be a tough one there for FC Tulsa. By the way, Detroit City have had a brilliant season, just beginning to lose momentum at the moment. Tough one against El Paso.
And trying to get back on track this weekend. Memphis trying to get back on track tonight. Hartford leads 1-0. The second half is next.
There's comfort in routine, and discomfort can be a disruption. But Trinity Health of New England is here to help with an experienced urology team offering advanced diagnostics and treatment expertise throughout our hospitals and physician offices. Because if something is keeping you from living well, you deserve better and the very best care to make it happen. Trinity Health of New England. Care that's always there. You've got a life to live, and you don't want to miss a beat. But sometimes it happens. And Trinity Health of New England is ready with comprehensive cardiovascular expertise delivered with commitment and compassion throughout our network of hospitals and physician offices. So when you trust your care to Trinity, you won't have to hope for the best. You can set your heart on it. Trinity Health of New England. Care that's always there. You've made changes, smart choices, a commitment. So this can be hard to understand. But at Trinity Health of New England, we do. Throughout our hospitals and physician offices, our dedicated weight management team provides expert guidance and care for a successful, personalized journey to better health. Because we understand it's not about what you hope to lose, but all you can expect to gain. Trinity Health of New England. Care that's always there. You strive to stay on top of your health, but you can't always see what's coming. So whether you're ready or not, we are. At Trinity Health of New England, offering you expert orthopedic care throughout our hospitals and physician offices, whenever you need us, for whatever it is. You didn't plan on the pain, but you can make your next move an easy one. Trinity Health of New England. Care that's always there.
Lays Fly Airport Parking is a proud partner of the Hartford Athletics. Save 20% on your airport parking by pre-booking on laysfly.com. And looking at our first half highlights, Hartford and Memphis, we start in the 21st minute, and this is when Hartford would get on the score sheet.
Yeah, just a big ball over the top, a good ball over the top, by the way. Juan Carlos Obregon Jr. from a very tight angle. Yes, there's a little deflection that comes off the big defender there, and somehow that puts Trey Muse off. His hands are angled one way, and then he can't move them. Comes off Graham Smith's leg a little bit, so maybe not as much blame on Trey Muse as I initially thought, but still, even with a deflection, I fancy the keeper as good as him to make the save.
29th minute, and Memphis would start to have a few more responses through Goodrum this time.
Yeah, Goodrum always a threat there, but just can't quite get a clean header. And what he does get is not a problem for Jimmy Slayton to save. And they did threaten a little bit here and there to Memphis. Didn't see enough clear-cut opportunity. This one, Chris Allen getting the ball across the near post, and out comes Jimmy Slayton to pounce on that one. So no clear-cut chances, but enough of a threat to suggest in the second half they might be able to do something. This one to Connor McGlynn, first time with his right foot, puts a decent amount of pace on it, but Trey Muse gathers.
A big save there for Muse right at the end of the half, as Memphis still right in this thing, but there have not been many chances on either side.
No, there hasn't, and that's a problem. If you're Memphis in particular and you're sitting top of the table, you should be creating more opportunities. As mentioned, the expected goals is small for both, 0.1 for Hartford, 0.15 for Memphis. Something has to change for Ben Pearman and his side second half. As far as Ray Reid and Hartford are concerned, they're looking pretty and they can try and counter-attack Memphis.
Well, back here at Trinity Health Stadium, Hartford, Connecticut, Wednesday night action in the USL Championships Eastern Conference with the former Manchester United goalkeeper Gary Bailey. I'm Josh Eastern. Thanks so much for joining us. One of two games going on across the championship at this hour. And Pearman hoping things start to go back in his side's favor. Talking there with Devin Rensing on the bench. We just wait for Austin Saney's whistle to get us set for this second 45 minutes. Talking shop there with Aaron Malloy.
He's one of those players who are going to have to push Memphis forward. Aaron Malloy, Jeremy Kelly from midfield. Those are the players who've made this team tick over this last few months, and they've got to get service into Goodrum and Dodson.
There's the whistle, and away we go. 45 more minutes from Hartford, Connecticut. It's Hartford trying to respond. Well, both teams trying to respond from losses last time out, but maybe Hartford more specifically, as they need wins, and they need them pretty quickly, as we mentioned during halftime, just trying to race their way up the Eastern Conference. As for Memphis, though, they're the team everybody's chasing at the moment. And right now, dropping points away to Hartford Athletic. We'll see what their response is here in this second half.
I mean, points-wise, there's a massive gap between these teams of 17 points. And that's assuming that Hartford win this. That's the live table. So it's a huge gap, but you wouldn't think so. And yes, we mentioned Laurent Kisiadou missing, and he does seem to be a massive part of this Memphis team, but they've got other good players who should be able to turn things around.
Here's Budani for Herzog. Quick passing here from Hartford. And Budani has room to run into. Obregon Jr.'s in the middle. Late run by Johnson. It was just cut off. Chance still alive. Barrera, now it's Obregon Jr. Barrera, Gadula. And Hartford can reset.
Good little opportunity down the right-hand side a moment or two ago. Options in the box, and Joel Johnson nearly got on the end of that one. Nice bright start by the hosts for the second half.
Of course, Harry Watling watching tonight from the press box. He said, I want to be at the game. I can't have any communication with the team. That's why the new technical director, Ray Reid, is in the technical area tonight. Of course, the Connecticut soccer coaching legend after 24 years, including a national title with UConn. And 7 more years with Southern Connecticut State, where he won 3 D2 titles. He also won 8 Big East titles during his time at UConn. So winning has really followed him wherever he's gone. And in his first pro game, it's going well, at least through 45 minutes.
It certainly is, and he's almost at the opposite end of the spectrum to Harry Watling, who's only 33 years of age, comes with a fantastic pedigree of his time at West Ham United with the young players, and at Chelsea. Arrived here last year with so much expectation, and it hasn't quite worked for him yet, but He believes it'll turn around. He's one of the most positive guys that we chat to on the phone. You know, even though his team took a hammering at San Diego, he still bounces up and says, right, you know, we can do this, we can bounce back, we can turn things around. Well, so far, so good.
Slide this out wide. Allen. Goodrum in a more central position now. Allen, nothing doing in that corner. Thank you to all of our Business Alliance members. Tonight's Business Alliance partner of the match is Max Downtown.
Okay, neat football from Memphis, but there's no final product into the box. If you look at their expected goals first half, 0.15. For a team that's top of the table, that's probably the worst of their season. They had a bad match against Birmingham Legion and got to 0.58.
And there's Goodrum trying to change that. Got himself in a little bit of space, but couldn't put it on frame.
Good effort from Goodrum, just on the edge of the box, and good turnover ball in their half. Memphis, and as I was just saying, they're not creating real opportunities. That's exactly what they do. Just on the edge of the box there, turns and has a go, not far away. That's how good Philip Goodrum is. He can take a little half chance and make something of it. And that was better from Memphis 901.
Remember, during that 5-game winning streak, they outscored opponents 17-3. They were getting it done on both ends of the field. Not to say they aren't doing that tonight, but they have conceded one, and they are finding themselves at a deficit at the moment.
Yeah, to that point that I was making there, that in every game they've played, they've done so much better at creating chances, except for this game. And maybe we should say well done to Hartford. I mean, I haven't mentioned that point. They have defended well. They've put their body on the line. Ultimately, when you don't get many shots a goal, it's often because the opposition haven't given you the chance.
Don't miss the next match right here, Trinity Health Stadium, June 25th, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. If you can't be at the game, it'll be on ESPN as Lou City comes to town. HartfordAthletic.com is your place for tickets. As Memphis come forward again, it's Allen. Malloy for Turchi. Turchi wants a hit. And this fired out of play.
That's a long way out for Turchi. I mean, that's 30 yards. It has to be some strike to end up in the back of the net there. But the Brazilian having a crack nonetheless. The 25-year-old believes in himself. Why not? Brazilians have been able to give us some of the most magical football moments. So why shouldn't he have a crack from 30 yards?
Plenty good attacking options on the bench tonight for Memphis. As this is turned over, slid in for Kelly. McLean stepping in, going to ground to throw in for Memphis. They go quick, and it's Turchi. Buckmaster for Malloy. Fend off Barrera. Serve it out wide for Dodson. Cross block down. It's a corner kick coming for Memphis 901.
Well, this is a good set piece opportunity for Memphis, and Hartford have conceded goals from corners against Phoenix Rising. It was a corner that got Phoenix Rising back into the match. And a header by Lambert in the 35th minute.
Malloy's service. Somebody was held up there. It was Logue. Segrist tries to keep it alive. There's Logue again, and they'll get another corner.
Difficult for the referee to make a call. The body goes down, but unless the ref actually sees the pull and can identify the moment, you can't just go by what sound you hear or where you see a player fall to the ground. No VAR. So it's all down to the referee and the assistant referee's eyes. I didn't see anything. I just saw a body go down. So what chance has the referee got?
Here's Malloy again. Plenty of depth on the service. Header comes back towards the goal line and on top of the roof of the net. Out for a goal kick. And a substitution coming. It will be Prince Sadie coming on to replace tonight's goal scorer, Juan Carlos Obregon Jr., a 4G recycling substitution.
And here's that goal again. Long ball over the top, does super well here. Puts it through Graham Smith's legs and maybe gets a slight deflection in the process. And that's what beats Trey Muse at his near post. But you know, he's not fully fit yet, Juan Carlos Obregon Jr., and it probably makes sense to get him off and get some fresh legs on. And there's the goal scorer against his former club, Phoenix Rising. I'll be hoping he can pop up with another goal today.
Here's Kelly. Memphis on the prowl. For Malloy. Ball comes in, a little flicked header by Goodrum and taken in the end by Jimmy Slayton.
Yeah, such a threat, Goodrum, and you get the sense that Memphis are just beginning to create more opportunities. What Hartford don't want to do is sit back too much and invite Memphis onto them, because these little balls in there, diving header, not enough pace on it. But the direction was good and certainly forced Jimmy Slayton to scamper across his goals.
Well, since 2018, the Fix has been Hartford County's leading wellness spa. Whether you need a quick B12 shot to increase energy or a vitamin infusion to rehydrate, this is the place to reset your mind and body. Take time, treat yourself, and invest in your health. It's turned over. Herrera finds Sadie. One of the more skilled players on the ball, Prince Sadie. Here's Barrera.
He certainly is, Prince Sadie.
Give and go, Boudadi's cross! Herzog was in the middle, it's just over the bar. Well-worked move there by Hartford Athletic.
Now that's where he's at his most dangerous for me, Corey Herzog. Bombing into the box, near post, he's quick, he's sharp, he's brave. A little bit of interplay here, gets the ball back from Danny Barrera. Lovely ball into that near post and nearly gets something on target, Corey Herzog. Wonderful little player when you give him service. There was a story about him. He was on Miami Beach when he got the phone call from Harry Watling.
He sure was. Here comes the corner kick. As the heads go up, it's headed clear. He played in U.S. Open Cup for Des Moines Menace, scored against Union Omaha. He'll actually play next week in the quarterfinals against Sporting Kansas City. The in-swinger, headed clear once again.
So he was tempted to leave the beaches of Miami to come to Hartford in February and winter.
Well, he was signed a little bit later than that, but maybe if you would have asked in February, he would have said no. Good skill by Joel Johnson, and serves this into the back post. Prince Sadie. Sadie turning Segrist around, the cross comes in. And again, it's cleared away. Memphis can carry it upfield.
Just to prove your point about you saying Prince Sadie is one of the most talented in USL, some lovely footwork there. He just needs to hit the back of the net a bit more often, Prince Sadie. Sort of floats in and out of matches, but goal against Phoenix Rising. Another one here today, and he might get a regular start out, but you're right, some lovely touches from the Prince.
Now there's more competition in the squad, I guess, for starting places with Obregon Jr. coming back. Good problem to have if you're Harry Watling. Here's Dodson. Cross blocked down and cleared. Malloy again for Dotson. Early ball in. It's Goodrum, and it's saved. Jimmy Slayton from point-blank range.
Fantastic save from the goalkeeper, a brave save, and he holds on to the ball as well. Philip Goodrum was in. It's a wonderful ball into the box for him. Nice build-up play down this right-hand side here. Look at this pass coming in. He gets onto it. He hammers it against the goalkeeper's leg, and the goalkeeper gets the loose ball. Fantastic save. He keeps that clean sheet for Hartford.
Good angle there on the cross in, right along the surface. And Jimmy Slayton, a big-time save to keep Hartford out in front. It's his first season with Hartford Athletic after the last couple of years for Real Monarchs. Played his college soccer right here in Hartford.
Memphis just flexing their muscles a little bit there. Philip Goodrum showing what he can do. Again, for Hartford, they can't sit back, and I'm sure that's exactly what Ray Reid is saying. Don't sit back and let them onto you. You've got to counter-attack. We've got to threaten them. We've got to keep them honest in defense. Let's see if we can get a second and finish this match off. There's the band. Love it. The music, the vibe. I was just going back to early last year when Hartford, I think they were in 3rd or 4th position, which is where I'm sure Ray Reid would love them to be right now. And the bands used to play, the fans used to love it. And it's gone a little bit quiet with the poor results. But Ray Reid and Harry Watling seem to be bringing some success back at this moment in time.
Slayton back on his feet, but put his body on the line, made a big save. Kind of got crunched by Goodrum.
It's the initial save, plus it's the speed with which he gathers the loose ball to make sure that Goodrum can't just poke it in. Fantastic save there from Jimmy Slayton.
Just past the hour mark here from Trinity Health Stadium. 21st minute goal by Juan Carlos Obregon Jr. So far it is the difference. Beautiful first touch there by Kelly. Buckmaster, the long run down the right. Malloy, lofted service in. Udati got his head on it. Here's Goodrum. Turchi. Now Malloy will have a hit. It was dipping and bouncing into the arms of Slayton, who makes another save.
Look at Philip Goodrum there following up. If that ball comes off Jimmy Slayton's chest, the number 10 was ready to pounce. So well done again to the goalkeeper. Those shots look easy, but they come skidding off the turf. You've got a centre forward running in, about to kick your head off if you drop the ball. Good concentration from Jimmy Slayton.
You feel like that may not be the last big save that he has to make tonight.
Well, that's the concern for Hartford, is Memphis just seems to be growing in strength at the moment.
Again, Kelly gets it out wide for Buckmaster. The cross comes in, punched away by Slayton.
Again, we mentioned at the start of this game that they've had a whole week's rest, Memphis, as opposed to Hartford, who played out west 3-4 days ago. Hartford have been traveling, and we thought that at the end of the game they might start to run out of gas. I wonder if we're beginning to see that at this moment. Another ball knocked on this right-hand side. They're getting a lot of joy last few minutes there, and goalkeeper once again doing his best Superman impression.
Tonight's match is Safe Driving Night, presented by the Connecticut Department of Transportation. Remember, drive sober or get pulled over. On the line for Johnson. Buckmaster was there.
Important for Logan Gudula out there in the left back position for Hartford. In the last 5 minutes, they've had 3 chances down that right-hand side, 3 great crosses into the box. He's got to make sure he plugs that up for Hartford.
Just looking around this Memphis side and seeing where a lot of these players came from in terms of their colleges, just some high-quality names, the likes of North Carolina, Indiana, Ohio State, Akron, Denver, Georgetown, Penn State, Marquette. A lot of these players have played at high-quality college programs under some very good coaches. And now it's Goodrum on the turn. Goodrum scores! The answer from Memphis 901. The leading goal scorer for Memphis adds another. They're level, it's 1-1.
Well, this has been coming the last 10 minutes for Ben Pearman's players. They've been bombing down the right-hand side, getting balls in. He came very close a minute ago, but for a fantastic save from Jimmy Slayton. And it's that high pressure. They've been doing it all this match. High pressure, getting turnover ball in dangerous positions. Beautiful ball through there. And just that stretch. He's got that ability, Philip Goodrum, to get one touch and then get a second one on the ball. Sticks it in the corner. And they're back in this match. Memphis has taken them a while, but they've eventually beaten Jimmy Slayton in goal.
Goodrum with his 8th goal on the season. You just felt it was coming for Memphis, all the pressure. And now can they go on and find a winner? On the other side for Hartford, similar to deja vu what we saw against Phoenix Rising, where they did score that opening goal and then conceded 2. See if they can hold on and score the next.
I'd be concerned if I was a Hartford Athletic fan because of all their troubles, because they've played more recently. I don't expect them to get stronger as the match goes on. And in contrast, this Memphis 901 side are super fit, super strong. They love playing that high pressure game. And they've got that, then that's how they've got this goal. They've turned over the ball just on the edge of Hartford's box. Lovely ball through. And Philip Goodrum's pouncing it. So this Ben Pearman style of play, which is pressing at every opportunity, has paid dividends once again.
Player down on the far side is for Memphis. There's maybe some concern for Ben Pearman. They've yet to make a substitution tonight with 25 minutes to go. Does look like Rashawn Dolly is getting set to check in. It looks like that's Andre Lewis as well.
I was talking about their expected goals being only 0.15 and that they normally get expected goals well over 1. Well, they're now at 1.2 already, so they've come good, Memphis 901. Taken them a while, but that pass from Luca Turci was just brilliant for Philip Goodrum. And Goodrum, quick one touch, outstretched right foot, sticks it in the corner, and service as normal for Memphis 901.
For Turci, his first assist. A couple of 4G recycling substitutions. The first one will see the end of the night for Corey Herzog. Rashawn Dolly will come on to replace. Andre Lewis will be the other substitute coming on for Hartford Athletic. And Luca Perpa will make way.
Didn't seem too happy there, Corey Herzog coming off. It was a bit of a shake of the hands, and there's also an explanation to Luca Perpa as to why he's off. It's not always a bad thing when players don't want to come off. It shows a commitment to the cause.
That's why the coach is there, to make those tough decisions.
Yeah. But they have lost the momentum, Hartford, and that's why the coach, I think, has made the changes, try and get fresh bodies on, fresh approach, get back on the front foot, because it certainly has been mostly Memphis in this second half.
It's interesting to see where the attack has come from, especially for Memphis. They've only gone down the middle of the field 20% of the time. They've been really using those flanks to their advantage, specifically the right. Bouncing through, it's Dolly. Muscled off the ball. It's a throw-in. Westfield Bank is proud to support Hartford Athletic and all they do to make our communities better. If you need more convenience from your bank, at Westfield Bank, you can bank your way. Learn more at westfieldbank.com. Barrera for Lewis. Fresh legs just onto the field. Lewis slipped as he sent the cross in. All of a sudden, a new game after the response. Philip Goodrum.
And these subs are having the desired effect for Hartford on the front foot. It's Andre Lewis who's approaching, or he gives away a silly foul. Prince Sadie there. These are the ones who have the extra energy to try and turn things around. But you don't want to be giving away silly free kicks, though. From Andre Lewis's point of view, that was unnecessary. If you can't get the ball, just let the defender. He tries to flick it over the top. It's right into the back of Lucas Turchi. You don't need to do that. Turchi's going back in his own goal. He's struggling to deal with the ball. Let him try and play his way out and see if you can just steal it off him. Instead, it's a nice, comfortable free kick for Memphis 901.
Long over the top. Slayton is there. It's interesting. Memphis has only trailed twice this year at halftime. They did lose both of those games. Curious to see where we go from here and who can get that next goal if there's another one in it tonight. Remember, Hartford has never taken points off of Memphis. None of them have really been that close.
That pressure again. They keep going. I mean, here we are coming up for the 70th minute. They're still able, and they've got the energy to put the pressure in. Of course, a long ball, which they then win in defense. And if you look at the expected goals for Hartford, it hasn't been that high, simply because they've been pressurized all the time. They're only at 0.3.
Another 4G recycling substitution, but this one, the first of the night for Memphis, and that will be David Egbo coming on, replacing Lucas Turchi.
It's a very positive substitution. It's a striker for a midfielder and gives you a sign of Ben Pearman's intentions. He's not here to get the draw. He wants to win. And he needs to get more from his strikers in the box, hence the appearance of Egbo.
Long over the top. Egbo, another loanee coming in from Vancouver. Spent last year with Phoenix Rising, 17 appearances, scored 5 goals.
There's a big sign in the back. They're saying believe. Oh, good timing. Went straight to it. That's what they need, Hartford. They need to believe. It's been a tough season, and belief has been hard to come by.
It's an ode to Ted Lasso, of course.
Yeah. Yes, Ted Lasso.
Yeah, there you go. I know you're a big fan of the show.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I think it's brilliant. Love his attitude.
Here's Kelly. Kelly dancing on the ball. Ben Pearman calling him such a technical player. Now Segrist serves it in. Heads go up. The chance still there. Buckmaster for Egbo. Malloy. Segrist. Cuts it across for Malloy again. Trying to look towards goal. Kelly. Kelly will go for the curler. He's leaning back, goes a high degree of difficulty, and it's out for a goal kick. over the top, misheaded out of play. The Performance Lab is an all-inclusive model that brings the latest technologies for pain relief, wellness, and mobility together under one roof with one-on-one treatments and a customized approach to fit your needs. The Performance Lab will get you moving and feeling your best. And down to the business end of this one. Memphis, the leading team in the Eastern Conference. Here's Dolly. These two teams came in with a 20-point differential. Hartford looking for something to go their way, but as we've seen all year long, they're in another close contest. Number 6 of those 8 losses in USL Championship play have been by just 1 goal. You can even count the Open Cup in that one when they lost to New York Red Bulls by 2-1.
And this is a rare experience for Memphis because they've run teams over in the past. If you ignore their last match against Birmingham Legion, before that 5 against Atlanta 2, 3 against London, 5 against LA Galaxy 2, 2 against Indy, 2 against Charleston, 3 against Tampa Bay, by the way. That's not bad. 2 against Colorado Springs Switchbacks away from home. So they are used to running teams over, and Hartford have given them a real battle here tonight.
Segrist. Kelly sends it in, looking for Dodson. All he could do was glance off the top of his head.
Still 15 minutes, though, for Memphis to get that breakthrough, and they're still probing. They still look dangerous at times.
Hartford Athletic would like to thank Connecticut's own Ripe Bar Juice, the official cocktail mixer of the Hartford Athletic. Lewis battling his way forward. The extra pass for Dolly, tried to set it there for Barrera, and it was just off the mark. And a chance now for Memphis to break. Jadama steps up.
That was so close, wasn't it, for Hartford? Dolly had the right idea to set Barrera up and just couldn't quite get it into his path, but fantastic football. Andre Lewis doing so well here, fighting for the ball, cuts inside, gets it, it's head up, plays it to Dolly. He sees Barrera coming in and tries to play it to him just off the mark there. That would have been a wonderful goal and a wonderful move if it had come off. Look at the fans in the background. They love it. They're getting all pumped up for the home side.
Slid down the line, Dodson. Memphis trying to spoil the party tonight. Here's Sadie. Little burst of pace. Malloy trying to track him down. He does go down. And this will be a yellow card.
That's such good play from Prince Sadie. He uses his pace, he gets his body through, forces Malloy to make a decision to either leave him or bring him down, and number 6 brings him down and picks up the yellow card. But look at the acceleration. Malloy comes in, just gets his body in the way between him and the ball and allows that contact, and as long as you're ahead with the ball, you're probably always going to get the free kick, and that's that pace of Prince Sadie.
And now, after Malloy goes into the book, it's a set piece for Hartford Athletic, and Connor McGlynn standing over this. I think he has one thing in mind.
This is his range, and this is where he comes onto the ball and can hit it with the flat of his foot as opposed to a side one. It's worth a shot and then just all follow up, see what happens, see if the keeper can hold on to it.
Instead, they'll try something off the training ground. It's clipped up. And nothing doing there.
Nice idea, but I think when you've got a good striker with the ball like that, go with what you know works. A good shot from distance. Get 3 strikers to run in the keeper, and if he drops it, you're ready to pounce.
Dolly. Smith stepped in. And again, is put out for a throw-in.
Problem for Hartford is a point would be a fantastic result against the league leaders, but it's not enough given their precarious situation. They need all 3 points, so the home side have to go for it in these last 10 minutes or so.
And you'd probably say the same for Memphis, saying going on the road against one of the bottom teams in the East, we should come out with 3 points. So we'll see if they start to push it as well. There's Budati. The header tipped over the bar. Trey Muse. A big-time save. He matches Slayton on the other side. Corner kick, Hartford.
Fantastic header there, and the goalkeeper at full stretch just to get fingertips to that. Have a look. Decent ball in as well. Comes in from Budati, and he gets the header, and it's just dripping under the crossbar. Keeper does ever so well there to get a stretched fingertip on that ball.
Bank of America corner kick. Barrera serves. Bouncing through. Buckmaster will let this run out of play. Well, the USL is committed to supporting the LGBTQ+ community through the Forever Proud project. The USL strives to create safe and welcoming environments for all fans, players, employees, and partners. Learn more at uslsoccer.com/Forever Proud.
On that right-hand side again, they're getting some joy.
Cross fired all the way through and just too far.
Been about 4 or 5 occasions in the second half that Memphis have been able to get down that right-hand side reasonably comfortably and get balls whipped into the box. There's got to be more support there for Logan Gadula. Chidama's got to get across there and make sure that he supports his fullback and tries to block that avenue for 901.
Ten minutes to go. This game hanging in the balance. Back to some of the late goals that Hartford has conceded, especially at home. The one against Detroit comes to my mind. Stephen Carroll in stoppage time off a set piece. Trying to avoid that this time around against Memphis. Buckmaster for Allen. Now it's Kelly. Segrist with the cross, bouncing through. Pruitt gets it out. It's a corner kick coming for Memphis.
Well, this is a huge battle these last few minutes because Memphis have got the confidence of league leaders to go forward. Hartford have got the desperation of a struggling team. They know they have to go forward, so it's going to be 2 boxers slugging it out, you would think, for the last 10 minutes.
Malloy standing over it again. Whole host of players surrounding the goalkeeper, and Austin Saney, the referee, will step in, make sure everybody keeps their hands to themselves. Malloy plays it short. Allen will bring this in. Now it's Kelly. He wants to hit it. Into the lemonade stand.
Wasn't happy with himself. You could see him just drop his head. As he hit it, he was muttering away to himself because he knows he has to try and hit target at least, force Slayton into doing something, and that just ballooned over the crossbar. You actually wonder whether getting the ball in the box wasn't a better option. As you said, there were so many bodies in there. It would have been so difficult for Slayton to have got through them. Why not just put the ball in there and see where it drops?
Hartford Athletic would like to thank our founding partners, Stanley Black & Decker. Stay tuned for the Stanley Innovative Play of the Game as this is turned over, and it's Malloy. Cross served in, and again headed clear. Now Dolly can look upfield, and here goes Hartford. It's 4-on-2. What can they do here? They move it out wide. It's Prince Sadie. Not what Hartford Athletic was looking for. Options abound. Sadie not a bad one. He just couldn't find the finishing product.
I just don't know if the better option was on the right-hand side here. Have a look as Dolly comes away. He's got Barrera running. He's got Andre Lewis inside. He goes wide. Andre Lewis has sort of got a better angle to get the ball. And Prince Sadie has got to get his shot on target, because even if he doesn't score, the keeper might push out the shot straight into the oncoming Barrera or Andre Lewis. In the end, just a wild shot over the bar. Good opportunity. We were talking about Prince Sadie earlier and how much wonderful skills he had. That's an example of where he doesn't use every opportunity to its fullest. If he did, he'd be some player.
Now Memphis comes back the other way. Malloy. Kelly will keep this in play. Kelly, a little bit of May magic left for Jeremy Kelly after his tremendous month.
It's a pity for Hartford. They win the ball, but there's no one up front to hit it to, and possession lost. Now they're back defending yet again.
Logue. Gatula, and Dodson will get there. Here's Buckmaster for Malloy. He'll whip his foot through it into the back post. Headed back into the middle. Goodrum is there. Falls for Kelly, blocked down. Johnson gets it away.
Defending in numbers, Hartford at the moment. Under real pressure from the league leaders.
Peter Lee Vassell will come on for the last few minutes. Joel Johnson will be replaced. The final 4G recycling substitution, as they've used all 3 of their substitution windows now, Hartford.
Well, Vassell got the equalizer against El Paso when he came on as a sub, so no doubt coach hoping that he can do exactly the same.
Dodson moves it out wide for Buckmaster. It's a deflected cross and another corner kick coming for Memphis. Malloy again standing over this set piece. This one he whips in. Smith was up for it, and he heads it straight out of play. Hartford Athletic is proud to team up with Stop and Shop and all of our community efforts as we work together year-round in the fight against food insecurity.
Hartford are good, just keep going for it now these last few minutes. As it stands, in the live table, they are 12 points behind Indy 11 in that final playoff spot, having played the same number of games, 13 games. To make up 12 points on Indy 11, especially given the run of games Hartford have. Louisville City coming up, Colorado Springs, Switchbacks, Detroit City and Tampa Bay. It's a big ask. They need the 3 points here today, the home side.
Malloy, after a good challenge by Goodrum to win the ball back. Vassell for Dolly. Vassell trying to work his way upfield, moves it off to that left side. Sadie uses pace to get there. Sadie cuts it back. Barrera saved. Boy, that would have been a big-time goal for Danny Barrera, but denied by Muse again.
Good save, Trey Muse. It's a good strike from Barrera. He's really put some power behind it. Prince Sadie setting him up, and Barrera's come in with power, directed at the goalkeeper, and the goalkeeper's made a very important save for his side. Really is end-to-end stuff as we thought it would be these last 10 minutes. Both teams desperate to get a win.
Smith. Closing stages here from Hartford. Goodrum slips it through. Dodson into the middle. It spills there for Buckmaster, and he couldn't get a shot away.
What a chance for Memphis that was. Threw in on goals, decides to pass it instead of shooting. The opportunity gets lost. Just wonder if they could have done different. Have a look, lovely play through. They're just probing on the edge of the box, trying to get a ball to one of the front players. There they go, fantastic turn from Philip Goodrum. Slides the ball through. That's worth a shot from that angle. Instead, tries to feed it through. Does Dodson. I just think it's worth smacking at a goal from there.
So many blue shirts in the way as well. They'll go again, and it's Goodrum. Goodrum dancing on the ball. It's beginning to Brignold Vineyard stoppage time. Cross comes in for Kelly off his chest. Looking for Egbo, it's headed clear. It's 3 minutes. Shot from Allen is blocked down. Chance still there. And saved by Slayton.
It was at him, it was a nice effort, but at the goalkeeper, expect him to pick it up. But that chance for Dodson a minute or so ago, that was the moment for them to have wrapped this one up, Memphis. Or at least certainly forced the keeper into a save. Now what can the home side do?
Here's Dolly, just wide. The two substitutes, Lewis and Dolly, nearly combining for a winner for Hartford. And there will be a sub here at the end. It is Devin Boyce coming on, replacing Derek Dodson. So there will be no goal and a return for Dodson. Boyce comes on.
Just slowing things down now, Ben Pearman, just to take the sting out of the game. Oh, what a chance for the home side. Andre Lewis doing so well, puts it through for Dolly. He's at a bit of a tight angle, and the angle was getting tighter by the moment, but still just misses that far post.
Boyce's first season with Memphis, coming over from Union Omaha in their title win in League One a year ago. Can he help this side get 3 points tonight? Malloy serves it in, bouncing through, it falls for Egbo, it's headed off the line! Tom Brewitt. It may not be a goalkeeper, but that could be the save of the week. And now Hartford goes back the other way. Here's Sadie. Options in the middle. Cross for Vassell. Minute to go. And deflected away. Falls for Barrera. Danny Barrera. Now for Yunus Boudadi. Cross served in. Back post. And out of play.
Wow.
Take a breath.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant ending from two sides who both want to win this. But you're right about Brewitt heading off the line from Egbo. The ball just got dropped right into the path of Egbo. Good attack down this left-hand side. Have a look there. It's a very poor clearance. Egbo picks his spot. Goalkeeper was struggling to get there. Tom Brewitt with an absolutely vital header off the line.
Drama right up until the last. And maybe one more chance. Boyce just onto the field. Clips it up for Egbo. And trying to keep it alive. Now it's Malloy, and McGlynn gets it out. Now 15 seconds left. Seems like the last chance will be here for Memphis. The cross served in. Egbo. It's sent away. Vassell, is there time for one more chance? There's the final whistle, and the points are shared in Hartford. Well, both teams were going guns a-blazing for the 3 points, and instead it finishes in a 1-1 draw. What a game.
I think you can see Ben Pearman saying to Ray Reid, well done, you've given us one hell of a game. This is a Memphis side who have seen of Colorado Springs switchbacks and Tampa Bay Rowdies, and yet they've been pushed right to the limit here today. All I can say is brilliant goalkeeping from both goalkeepers. Jimmy Slayton's made some fantastic saves. Goodrum pops up just when needed with a little touch of skill to get it into the back of the net. Both sides have left nothing out there. It's been a fantastic effort from both teams and absolutely wonderful to watch this game.
Of course, the 1 point for Hartford moves them up to 10th spot. Memphis now has a 1 point lead. Still at their 2 point lead at the top. It finishes Hartford 1, Memphis 1. Stay with us. We'll wrap things up next. The points are shared tonight here in Hartford. It finishes 1-1. Of course, the next match here at Trinity Health Stadium, June 25th, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. It'll be on ESPN against Louisville City. You can go to hartfordathletic.com for tickets and information as the players salute the fans tonight at Trinity Health Stadium. Hard-fought 1-1 draw. So let's look back at our full-time highlights. Hartford and Memphis, 12th place versus 1st place in the East. 21st minute and the opening goal for Hartford Athletic.
Connor McGlynn with the pass there, and Juan Carlos Obregon Jr. turns, hits this, and it just gets a little bit of a deflection off Graham Smith, and that puts Trey Muse off at his near post. He thinks he has it, and then it just gets underneath his hands, and the home side have that 1-0 lead.
64th minute, and come the second half, Memphis was on the prowl for a goal, and they would get it here. Turchi to Goodrum.
Goodrum there, just a little bit of a toe poke into the corner. Absolutely brilliant, but that comes from turnover ball. 20 yards out. They'd worked so hard all match, Memphis, to get turnover ball. They got it, fed the ball into Goodrum. He did the rest, and a deserved equalizer for the visitors. And then in the end, it was just chances aplenty. We both thought something was going to give. And this one here, is it going to be a header off the line by Tom Brewitt? The ball's going to drop for Egbo. He picks his spot, and Brewitt's right on the line to head that one clear.
As we said, it wasn't a goalkeeper, but that could definitely be save of the week in the USL Championship. Well, double the amount of shots for Memphis, but as we just saw, it was a Good defensive effort from Hartford tonight.
It was, and Memphis with 1.85 expected goals, so they should have had 2, and the home side Hartford just 0.85, they should have had 1. So perhaps on the balance of play, Memphis had the better opportunities, but in the end, Hartford digging in, and they went for the win at the end. They weren't going to sit back. Two sides slugging it out. Honorable draw, fantastic last 10 minutes.
A really just enjoyable 90 minutes between these two sides. Ray Reed stepping in for Harry Watling, and they do get a point out of it tonight. But it finishes all square from Hartford as Memphis still stays at the top of the Eastern Conference. For our entire crew and broadcast partner Gary Bailey, I'm Josh Eastern saying so long as it finishes. Hartford Athletic 1, Memphis 901 1. Good night from Hartford.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.